Good morning, our people. Happy to be here. I don't know if my volume is up. I know this is an unusual time for us. Something came up, and we have to adapt. We are mothers. This is what we do on a daily basis. When things don't go the way we plan it, we make another plan. So welcome to the program. As usual, help us to share. Sharing is the most important thing. Share, subscribe, continue to hit the like button. I was told that helps a great deal. So continue to hit the like button and those kind of things. So in the interest of time, my name is Mona Saga and I am in Houston, Texas.
Thank you so much. My name is Ekutosinamadi or AP for short. I am in Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate you. Uh, like my sister said, please help us to share, like, and subscribe. We'll try and pull up. There's a first video uh, while we're sharing so that we can, people will just get busy with that as we're sharing. Please help us to subscribe, share to your friends, everyone in your family, your friends. No, not this one. Sorry, there's another one.
No, but this is our theme video. I know there's a second one you posted. You wanted to share.
But it's like this one. It's like it's saying the same thing with this one, but it's from Nina's.
Okay, so let me.
It's like uh, Nina's start came out with their own. I would say almost the same thing, but to add more information.
Okay, let's
So
see.
please
Pull
help
that
us to
one out.
share. Help us to subscribe. Um, I will join also to share. Sorry, I forgot to say it.
The unitary constitution of Nigeria is the source of all of the problems we have been trying to resolve. Everything that has brought Nigeria to where it is, that is now wobbling to some kind of catastrophic collapse, are coming from that constitution. All the contents of the treasury, the principles for managing the resources, so that's the custodians of the treasury, the custodians of power in Nigeria are not to be accountable to the populace for the contents of the treasury. Anybody talking about the rule of law in Nigeria under this constitution is just wasting his time. All atrocities committed in the name of government were put beyond the reach of the court to probe into. These same principles have matured into express provisions that became the quota system. They call it federal character. In that mediocrity, you bring the worst of everybody to come and manage everything for everybody. Go and look at the autopsy report on Nigerian Airways, on Nigerian National Shipping Line, on NITEL, on all the agencies of government that have been run aground. It was simply mediocrity.
Excuse me. Oops. Um,
Why are you not investing in tax liens?
Okay. They have to advertise.
I can't even find this. Are you able to see this show? I can see
Yeah,
it on
okay. I
my.
posted it on in Daughters of Truth.
Yeah, but how come I'm not able to see it from my side? That is this. I can't find it
Yeah,
anywhere.
I don't know, but I've threw it in there. No.
Okay. Yeah, I can't find it on my own side.
It's
Hmm.
on, I'm sure it's there. It's just that.
Well, it just came on. I'm telling you, I was
Okay.
just these people are something else. Okay, that's good. Um, All right, so we'll just continue to share while I read the intro for today. Um, so our topic is super nice. We send out the promo as usual for everyone to see, and as usual, please help us to share these promos as you get them, only because they help to put people in anticipatory mode, where they are, have at least read somewhat what we are planning to do, and sort of be marinating in it while while the Saturday show comes. So every
The theme
problem is
video. The theme video.
the one.
The theme video.
Oh my days.
Sorry. I'm sorry. No, please, viewers, we have to juggle a lot of things to get this out today. Would have cancelled, but we had to move on. Please bear with us. There's so much to do. Help us to share. Continue to help us to share, please.
In this part 3 of the Nina's interrogatories, those things that will not change no matter who becomes president, those things mandated by the Constitution that cause catastrophes we see all around us. In this part 3, we'll be dealing with the agitations across Nigeria. What is it in that Constitution that is responsible for the agitations we see? Which will not go away no matter who becomes president until the source factor is addressed. Turn off the tap. Second one, the decayed infrastructure we see, including seaports, airports, highways, railways. What's the reason they are in the state they are in now, compared with Europe, compared with America, compared with Asia? What is it in that constitution that is responsible for what we see, which no new president can adjust by himself, no matter how well-intentioned? Turn off the tap, reverse the situation. Third thing is the question of rule of law and good governance. Those who go about talking about rule of law, under which constitution? The constitution mandates the laws we have. Some don't even know that the law, that constitution is by itself, and the laws are, products of a constitution. And so, if you talk about rule of law, then I'll ask you which law? In the absence of a government that is not, in the absence of a constitution that does not allow anything to flow the way it should flow in a federation. So the rule of law is not possible. The rule of law is not possible under the 1999 Constitution. Just like somebody coming to say he's going to fight corruption under that Constitution, that person is a criminal. Anybody who tells you he wants to come to pursue rule of law under the 1999 Constitution, tell that person that Nina say he's a rogue, because rule of law is ruled out from the apartheid constitution we have in place. It's already skewed. It already cuts you out. It took your assets without talking to you. It took the guns without talking to you. So it's pointing guns at you, having taken your assets, and then it says the rules, we are supposed to be a federation deciding together in symbiosis how we organize our society. You impose the rules that tie my hand to the back, and you turn around to hold up that constitution as a basis of rule of law. Shame on the lawyers in Nigeria that canvass rule of law under constitution of apartheid. Was there rule of law in South Africa for the blacks in the days of apartheid? That's what we're discussing. Go and return your certificates to the universities that gave you degrees in law. Go and return the one the law school gave you, rule of law. So where are we going to get good governance if rule of law is not possible? And so let's come into it. The agitations, the number one of what we listed, the agitations going on in the land. In course of my assignments in this project, whether it was in the LNC or the MNN that followed before it became NINAS when the constituent peoples of Nigeria came to join us. The agitations. We begin with the Niger Delta that was the first to become notorious. Resource control. What is their contention? I happen to have been eyeball to eyeball with the very leaders of those agitations across board. The one of Niger Delta, resource control. What are they asking? What's the question? The basic question they're asking is, how did the oil and gas of Ijoland become the property of Sokoto people and Kano people and Jigawa people? How did the oil of Bayelsa become something that Jigawa people control? At what point did they submit their lands and their people into this union that will be managed in this form? So basically, these are constitutional grievances. These are constitutional questions. You cannot address that question with that constitution still standing, because that constitution already took everything from them and put on exclusive list, oil and gas, arms, by which they are being tormented. And so no matter who becomes president, that question is not going to go away until it's addressed in terms of calling the owners of the lands, the sovereignties that are consolidated as Nigeria, calling the owners of those sovereignties to come to discuss. As it is with Niger Delta resource control agitation, so it is with the Biafra agitation. The people of the East, particularly the Igbo, so many others, are asking, on what terms, at what point did we submit our sovereignty into this union of debt? At what point did we agree that we should be tied up and molested 24 hours, killed at will, as claimed in the preamble to that constitution? The ones who want Yoruba nation, who want autonomy, who want restructuring and all kinds of things, they are saying the same thing. Let us go and sit down to work out the terms of our union until we remove this fraud of 1999 that does now become basis of union, this imposition, this apartheid of a constitution, until we do like South Africa did with apartheid constitution, set it aside, put it aside, go into a meeting to discuss what will be the replacement. And if we can't find common ground on account of clash of civilizations, if we can't find common ground, then the union stands dissolved. Those who did not know what NINAS, what LNC or NINAS was canvassing all the while, you can now be informed that in targeting the life of that constitution, we wanted to end the union of death anchored on that constitution. The failed Lugadian experiment of 1914, the world calls Nigeria, is now framed and enabled by that constitution of 1999. There was the one of 79, there was the one of 63, there was the one of 60, but the one that is on the table now, by which we are tied hands to the back, is the 1999 edition of the imposed unitary constitution. And so that is the source, that is the tap from which all the agitations in the land flow. They are basically asking, who owns Papa's land? Go on YouTube right now, click the title, Who Owns Papa's Land, so you can get more on this. But we're saying that constitution, as long as it's there, no matter who becomes president, these agitations will not go away. The beginning of the reversal, the beginning of the change in the situation, for whether it's the Niger Delta agitation or the Biafra agitation or the Oodua Republic agitation, all the other agitations, the only thing that will bring relief, that will address the cost factor, is that this constitution goes down. The fact that one new president comes or the other goes does not address it, because if the new president comes, is he going to now, with the arrival of Peter Obi as president or Tinubu as president, change the falsehood in the preamble to the constitution that we, the people, submitted our sovereignty into this union of death? No, it's not going to change. They can hang around there for 8 years like Obasanjo hung around, like Jonathan came in the time he came. It didn't change that. So those things that will not change, no matter who becomes president, those are the issues we are taking up. So we've dealt with the agitations in the union across board. We have the second item in this part 3, the decayed infrastructure, including seaports and airports and all of that. It is because of that exclusive list that the federal government is now the one to decide whether there will be airport in Enugu or whether there will be potholes in the runway or when they will be fixed, or shut down the port of Port Harcourt and tie everybody down to Lagos that has now become unusable. It is because of that exclusive list that we have the decay in the infrastructure, the railways that shut down, the seaports and airports and the highways. Look at the road that goes from Enugu to Port Harcourt. Look at the one that goes from the east-west road. Go and see if it was the people of the territory that will have charge and responsibility for fixing their roads. Those roads will not be like that. It is because these things are exclusively federal responsibility and therefore assets. The constitution, donates it to the illicit federal government that emerged since 1966. Nigeria ceased to be a federation at the point the constitutions, the 5 constitutions that define the federation, got toppled between 66 and 67, between those 2 coups. Particularly on the 27th of May in 1967, that Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Gowon fractured the 4 regions into 12 states. That was the end of the Federation of Nigeria, because the constitutions of the 4 regions were then toppled. There was only now one government of the Federation that began to validate itself all the way to 1979 when they codified that unitarism. That's how we got to unitarism. What happened in January of 66 was merely some intervention by middle rank officers who were looking out for their country. It wasn't something anybody Ironsi did not touch. Ironsi's decree number 34 did not touch the structure of the federation. For those of the people peddling all kinds of lies, we are talking about things that will not change. These things are we are talking about how we got to where we have 68 items on the exclusive list. It was because we abandoned the federal basis of Nigeria to centralize everything in the unitarism we have. We then took all the economic assets and all the powers to work those assets and loaded into an exclusive list in the constitution that is now in the hands of an illicit federal government that is imposing itself on us, of course controlled by the caliphate. And so nobody, those things will not change because Peter Obi or President or Tinubu become president. Those exclusive lists, the items in that exclusive list will remain there, and the owners of those assets will continue to cry. The last item there is the rule of law and good governance. Like we already said, when everything is structured to be upside down, what rule of law are you talking about? Because the laws, the constitution is the mold. You know, you have a vehicle, you have an engine in that vehicle. There's a mold from where those parts of those engines are made before they are assembled. The constitution is the mold from which all your laws are made. So if the constitution already turns everything upside down, confiscates my sovereignty, pretending I brought it by myself, confiscating my economic assets, oil and gas here, port there, bitumen here, and limestone there, concessioning it to people, they already stole it, they hijacked it at gunpoint, and then I'm supposed to now come and obey all the laws they make, even the representation in the National Assembly. How did we come to where I am now a permanent political minority? And then people gather in Abuja thinking they are there on my behalf. The ones from my part who go to collect what they give to others, swearing to defend and uphold the constitution that enslaved me. I'm sorry for all of you, because the day is near when that constitution will come crashing down. 24 years from 1999 is more than enough time for us to abandon the stupidity and obduracy of thinking that we're going to keep things the way they were imposed for all times. particularly from the December 16, 2020 Constitutional Force.
Thank you, Brother Tony. We posted this whole thing in our Facebook page. It's been there since I think Thursday. So if you want to watch it in its entirety, please go up there. The point of watching this is for you to understand the problem so that you are not having a what we call a beer parlor conversation, a motopark conversation, so that you will be well informed based on what the evidence are. So that you're not speaking as if someone I know so I know this person, I know that person. So please continue to help us to share this video. The good thing is that we go nowhere. This news, we'll carry this news until it enters everybody's ears. But the tragedy is that the more you guys wait, the more things will happen to you that we don't want to happen to you. So, okay, this truth that came to set us free, nothing will change it because truth can only bring you light. So the sooner, especially the elders or the elderly ones, the sooner you key into this and begin to understand truly what the problems are, and don't think it's about bringing one savior from prison and all your problems to go away, is for you to understand, like truly understand what the underlying issues are. So thank you. Continue to help us to share. We appreciate you being here. So welcome to the program. As our topic goes today, every problem is an opportunity in disguise. This is by John Adam, a former American president. This is so awesome. I love the way he put it. Every problem is an opportunity in disguise, an opportunity for you to be innovative, opportunity for you to improve yourself. It's not where you're supposed to pass out and start asking God to come and intervene on your behalf. The human mind is an extraordinary and powerful tool with untapped creative potential. When earnestly and appropriately engaged, it becomes a force to reckon with, capable of generating effective and innovative solutions to even the most intricate problems. Yet, we must candidly acknowledge that human mind is not immune to its share of limitations. Biases, greed, and selfishness can sometimes cloud judgment and stifle our positive creativity. Only by recognizing and overcoming this obstacle can we truly unlock our mind's full brilliance. However, the situation is not entirely bleak. In the context of Africa, there has been a historical challenge, both internal and external, that have hindered the continent's development and progress in the past. Western globalists and their local agents have taken advantage of Africans' abundant resources and human capital, leaving it underdeveloped and its people grappling with adversity. So the urgency to transform this narrative is definitely paramount. Imagine a future where Africa stands tall, empowered by self-determination, and harnesses its boundless potential and resources for its own advancement. Imagine an Africa where we will no longer be a mere reserve for raw materials. That will help us to emerge as a beacon of innovation, contributing significantly to the industrialization and civilization of the entire world. And we know Africans, we love to share, because in Africa, our visitors are taken care of. We tend not to harm other people. So through knowledge sharing, collaboration, and sustainable development, Africa can rewrite its destiny, breaking free from exploitation and creating a legacy of progress and prosperity for the future generations. So together we can seize this moment to reshape the narrative, moving away from the past of subjugation to a future of empowerment. By fostering partnership and collective efforts, we can rally behind Africa's transformation, leaving no room for doubt that the continent will be a testament to the incredible potential of human mind when devoted to positive creativity and genuine self-determination. So today in our show, we'll delve into Nina's template for self-determination, which offers a compelling model for Nigeria and Africa to leverage their challenges as stepping stones to learn, grow, and prosper. So as usual, of course, we cannot start this show without reminding you guys where we are. We live at the estate of Osman Danfodio. That has not changed. Until we begin to accept that we are tenant in our own land, we go nowhere. So we need to understand today that every challenge is an opportunity for us to invent new possibilities. It's an opportunity in disguise. I'm trying to pull up this PowerPoint for today.
Please continue to help us to share, like, hit this the like button, please, so that this information can get out to our people. It's so important. And if you're seeing this video for the first time, please help us to subscribe. We appreciate you. All right, please go ahead.
Awesome, awesome. Look at this beautiful, bright video that we have. You almost emulate what we are thinking in terms of the brightness that we wish for Africa. Beautiful pictures. So, again, we know that we are in a conquered territory. We know that we have been ruthlessly turned into a slave, and we will be ruthlessly, we'll remember a slave, we'll remain a slave because their plan is to allow us to never have control over our future. But in order to change that, we have the Nina's protocol that most of you are ignoring. You're making fun of it. You're pretending they are using big English, yet you watch BBC. You're pretending like, oh, it's only one guy and one that is doing it by himself, but it's the information that you need. So our objective today is to look at the basis for Nigeria challenges and crises, history of poor policy choices, opportunities, and new possibilities. I love that. And then we're going to look at Nina's roadmap, the next steps to union reconstruction. And of course, we cannot end without the Nina's point agenda, our shining a spotlight with our ancestors will come back next week because we are running out of time today. All right, the basis for Nigeria challenges and crises. We know that we Africans, Nigerians, we have been long history of exploitation and oppression. Nothing has changed from the day they came in and gave us that fake independence. They were in the background looking at us as if, why are these people happy? They don't even know. They don't even know that the Ebu music has changed and they're here clapping. We know that they destroyed the stability of the country with coups and counter coups that they funded by themselves. If they don't like the government, they make things happen. They make things disappear and people suffer. They have created so much political instability due to electoral malpractices and corruption. They will even tell us that they will bring us a computerized account. And we know that even gives them easy access because with computerized count, one button will change the outcome of everything. Then we have leadership serving the interests of external colonizers because they are there to make sure that the business, that's why we keep reminding you guys, Nigeria is a business enterprise. So the people that call themselves leaders are the ones, leading the companies. But you can tell that they're so stupid because when you're working in a company that is not working, any reasonable person would like to make a change.
Exactly.
So this their stupid leadership have left millions of people trapped in cycle of hardship and inequality. Then there's, of course, the agitation across Nigeria for freedom, democracy, and sovereignty because our people are wonderful people. They want to do more. They are smart. They are capable. Right now I'm in a random place. You will not believe where I am. But there are two of our people here. We have people coming from all over the world. We are capable of doing the undoable. But because we are trapped in a place where we are not allowed, like Brother Tony will say, is an incinerator for what was the word?
For talents and dreams.
Talent and dream will not allow you to move forward. As if that's not bad enough. The northern part, there is jihadist insurgency going on. People are being killed. Our Hausas, brothers and sisters are being destroyed in the name of jihad.
Jihad. Yes.
Or jihad. So, and then when you go to the northeast, you see there is increasing violence from Islamic terrorism. And then the foreign animal herder killing indigens. They are taking over the land, displacing the people that owns the land, and actually renaming the land to their own. And this has happened way past in the history before. If nothing is not done in the next 20 years, that place will actually look there like their own land. They will insist on grazing rights on the land that do not belong to them in the name of federal government of Nigeria. Because every time they come out on TV, they remind us that as long as we are in that place called Nigeria, as long as we're in one Nigeria, that they own you, own your stomach, own your private part, they own everything. They can do as they wish. And then when you look at the Northwest, there is a widespread and large-scale criminal banditry and kidnapping. Are they doing anything about it? No. You pray to God. You fast and pray. You go and see your pastor, give him money so he can give you oil, olive oil, as if olive oil is going to prevent a hungry man from
Why the
coming to help you.
why the pastor is in bulletproof cow?
Why the pastor is yeah, you will go and see him before you leave town so he can give you olive oil and pray for you and lay hands on you. The same hand he's using to put in the private part of the children that goes to his church, he will use it and lay oil on your head. And you think you'll be protected. And then when we go to the Niger Delta area, they are controlling the resources. The federal government has 97%, while the indigenous people have 3%. They are not doing anything but destroying our land. And then we look at the $140 million naira palliative politicians. People got 8,000 pound naira. Look at me, who gave me pounds? People got 8,000 K, which is 8,000 naira per
Yeah.
family. Politicians got 140 million each. Just do the math. Even if you don't have elementary school education, you know that you've been cheated, you've been
Terrible.
punked out of your resources. As if that's not bad enough, they are spilling oil everywhere at damaging places. Children are now being born with the defect, which you don't see in our land. As if we have the resources to take care of them. And they keep reminding us, like I said earlier, that the oil in Bayelsa belongs to them in Jigawa. So everything belongs to them. They will sell their gold, they will keep the money. They will sell the oil, they will keep the money. They will sell the diamond, they will keep the money. Everything they will keep. They are not even using it to help the people. They're not even using it to help the people around them. And then we know that the unitary system took away our assets. It took away what belongs to us and put our name there down in their so-called constitution and say, we the people. We the people that never happened. Pointing guns at people's head. We know that non-state actors and individuals now have private security outfit to bully others. It's only in Africa, especially in Nigeria, that it's okay for a senator or a politician to carry around 50 cars as if he's God. And it's okay while people are suffering. You're driving all this entourage and people are there waving their hands, hungry people waving their hands, and you think that you're invincible. Former state security agencies, they are all compromised. The police are so compromised, they are not well trained, they are not well paid, they are not well anything. So now they become part of the criminality that we are worried about. You give them a gun, you're not paying them, they are very, very likely to give that gun to someone who will put it to good use if they don't have the stomach to do it themselves. Then there's a 40 billion that was given to buy bulletproof vehicles to protect our so-called politicians, the same one benefiting from the system, instead of feeding the poor, hungry masses. And then there's another 35 billion that was given to judiciary. I know a lot of you are not aware of all these numbers that we are calling out, and that's why we do the research. Because when a mother is busy in the market trying to find the meal for the next day, you don't know that you participating in election has kept you the way you are, have kept your children from not being able to go back to school. Because they will come into a place where you're selling akara and join you to fry akara during election, just for you to feel like they're part of you. You're there clapping, hey, whoa, he says, hey, whoa, look at her down to earth. No, it's all a decoy. It's all a decoy for you to go to that election and give him power to keep you where you are. The worst part is that you may not even be able to fry the akara that you were frying before he came to your location, because the beans is so expensive. And then we look at the Southeast. We are talking about the basis for Nigerian challenges and crisis. There's agitation for freedom and independence. And we know the people that pretending to lead our people to freedom that know this information about the constitution being the problem, how they work hard to hide it from our people. And when we say they are the agent of Nigerian state, people will think we are kidding. Tell me how someone came to bring freedom. You know what freedom, what pathway your people need to go, and you literally lead them to their damnation. I don't have any names to call you. You can call your name, self names. We keep every day, they remind us that we are the conquered people of the Southeast, and we are hunted down like animals in the bush. Our youths are being destroyed every day. These are children that we know that are capable of doing the undoable, that can think beyond challenges. And yet we have reduced them to people that anybody can tie their hands on their back and burn them and do whatever you guys do to them. Our so-called future. And then you look at the ones that are doing all these things, they don't have any plans for our people. Politicians fund anarchy all over the country. You see them, they will come out on TV from nowhere and say, oh, release this one, release that person, release that person. What about our children that are locked up in every dungeon in Nigerian prison? What about them? Who's going to release them? The politicians, the elders. Who's going to release those ones? Because of one man, our boys, our young men should perish in prison. What effort are you guys making to get those children out and rehabilitate them? As if it's not bad enough, they continue to make our people sit at home. We have our sisters back home that we're in contact with. And one of the biggest impediment that they're complaining about is that sit at home. Whatever, anything that is left of them, they say that sit at home is equivalent to kwashiorkor in their eyes, especially for the mothers. So you're here talking about, oh, Biafra, they killed 1 million people. They killed 20 people. Oh, they gave them kwashiorkor. You are initiating another level of kwashiorkor for our mothers and their young children. Because children need protein for them to grow. Missing that protein, missing that enough nutrition in less than a month, kwashiorkor has ensued. If you think it's going to take 3 years like it did in Biafra War. The only reason why it didn't happen immediately because children were being fed even though we are at war. But now you guys have created a level of kwashiorkor for our mothers. And we don't have the medical facility to handle all of this. And then we talk about the serious constitutional grievances in the failed Lugadian experiment. We want everyone to understand that if this constitution did not go down, your life will not change. So that means you will live and go on, meet your ancestors, your children will live and go on and meet your ancestors. And we know it's world without end and nothing will change. And that's why it seems like we are every day pointing to the constitution because it's the basis. It's the basis of our existence. So we allowing them to rule us with something that we did not make, to rule us with a fraudulent unitary constitution that we did not make, that did not include the constituents. It leaves us in a dire situation. And then there is a clash of civilization and dual ideology in that 1999 constitution. We look at feudalism and Sharia / constitution and democracy. It's like somebody trying to put milk in fufu and eat cereal in the morning. Just imagine it, you get to egusi, you bring milk, you put in it to go and eat. That's what we've been marinating in. And we'll pretend like all is well. The 68 exclusive item list in that constitution will decide if you live or die. There's no other way to describe it. It will decide if you live or die. It will decide if your land will belong to you. It will decide if the oil will belong to you. It will decide if it will decide whatever they want it to decide for you. So that's what we cannot no longer afford to engage in motopark discussion or one money discussion, beer parlor discussion. It's not funny anymore, my people. It's not funny. We have to do better. Thank you.
And they talk about motopark discussion. You see our people, they don't know anything about the situation. They will go online saying things that they have no clue about, as if they are sure of it. Whoever told them that if you don't know about something, you should go and be saying it? And people will think that they really know what they're saying. Please, we are begging you people, stop confusing our people. If you have not studied anything, if you don't know anything, please stop commenting on them. Stop teaching people the things that you don't know about, you don't know anything about. We're talking about the basis for Nigerian challenges and crisis. Thank you so much, my sister. So, rule of law is a product of the Constitution. Like my sister said, we did not make the Constitution. What we have was imposed on us. Meanwhile, you're supposed to get rule of law from the Constitution. That's how it is. So the Constitution is the mold from which laws are made. They can block, block. Block. Then the block whatever shape of that container that you used to put the bricks. Sorry for those that don't understand it, but I'm trying to say it in Igbo so my people understand it, because we need them to understand it. We are not English people, we are Igbo people, we speak Igbo. So sometimes we put Igbo for them so that they can understand what to explain it. So that mold for molding block, you see that any block you mold, it has to take the shape of the mold that you use, the masons use to mold blocks. If it's small, it will be small. If it's long, it will be long. That's how the Constitution is. The Constitution is the mold where they get laws. So if the law is one that doesn't have like no justice, if your constitution is not the one, like military constitution, is not the people's constitution, the law that you're going to have will be something like that. They will be posing everything on you. So you can't have good governance except you have appropriate constitution. Constitution is a product of rule of law. What did I say? Good governance is a product of rule of law. Rule of law is a product of constitution. So you see how it goes. Rule of law is a product of the Constitution. Then good governance is a product of rule of law. It means that if rule of law is not possible, where are you going to get good governance? For those that are shouting good governance, you can't have good governance if there's no rule of law. That's how it is. There's no rule of law or justice under an imposed constitution. We told you people that the people did not make the constitution. The people, the constituent members, that's why it's called constitution. Constituent members of a union are the ones that make constitution and say, this is how we want to live. These are the terms and conditions. From there, you now have rule of law and then justice and order. If the constitution was imposed, then you can have good governance and you can have rule of law. Meanwhile, the politicians and their agents are waving flags, APC, PDP, Labour, this one, while our people are dying. They are more interested in making money. When you hear them talk, even Obasanjo, he said that they are empty in their brain. Meanwhile, he's not brought most of them inside the place. He himself, I don't know whether there's anything inside. Because as we talk, you see some of the things that he did. You see, empty brain is calling another person empty brain. Association of Empty Brain Leaders. In the days ahead, poverty will increase. Why? Because no foreign investor will put taxpayers' money in a disputed project like Nigeria. They are reading, they are following. You people are not reading, they are reading. You see, they're coming to sign MOU, come and do this. This one is the bragadabra. Like, the more you look, the less you see. It's show they're doing. They're not going to invest anything. Because for you to invest, the people that they are partners, they will ask questions. They don't throw money anyhow. These foreign investors are not people that throw money. They want to make profit. So they're going to ask, what is the rule of law in Nigeria? They will ask, what is the judicial system like? What is their security before we can invest? What of the law on investment? What do you have? Nobody builds on a sinking sand. So they will ask these questions. They are not just going to, no. That's why I will tell you that they're deceiving you. When they tell you they will do this, they will do that. It's all deception. So that they'll continue to siphon resources, steal and share with their friends. Now their wives, now they're models. Even if they have wife before, they'll go and marry another one for the politics era. And then she will go and fix extra bum, fix extra eyes, extra nose. This is where the money is going to, where the people are hungry. They're on social media, flaunting cars, flaunting this. Hey, my husband did this, my husband did that. That's the type of leaders you have. Very irresponsible, wicked, and reckless. I've never seen this group of human beings anywhere. Which country is it that the wives of politicians are the ones modeling on social media? Cars, dresses, where? And the poor people are there looking where and clapping hand. Yes, the wife is good, is beautiful. Is that what they send them there to do? You think that is leadership? These things did not start today. We'll run you through history of poor policies and choices that this your country called Nigeria has made over time. It's important for you to know. Because if my people say that if you don't know where the rain started beating you, you won't know where you got dry. Ọ bụrụ na ị mara ebe mmiri bido wee maba gị, ị gaghị ama ebe ọ kọrọ gị. Then my people also si na ọ dị mkpa ka ị mara ebe mmiri si wee ba n'opi ụgbọgụrụ. Root cause analysis. How did it start? You see that we have been very reckless. As we are discussing this show, I felt so sad. I said, like, so all these things have been going on for about 63 years. And people sat down, people that are giving birth to children. You sat down, you did not care what is going on to ask questions. 1960, they gave you fake independence. You did not care to ask this independence, what does it even mean? They say, okay, it's Federal Republic with 3 constituent states or regions, North, West, East, and their various constitutions. Somebody will look and say, okay, good idea. That's good. So we're coming with different constitutions because that's a federation. A federation, you need the components have their own constitution, and then they come together, you have a federal constitution, which is a union of all those independent constitutions. But you know what? By 1962, they've suspended the Western Region Constitution. May 29th, 1962.
Less than 2 years.
Yes. So Nigeria Federation is a stillborn. He came out of the womb dead. Yes, your Nigeria came out of the womb dead. He did not even breathe oxygen before he died. The one that your papa is telling you, let them breathe. In Nigeria did not breathe oxygen. He came out dead. He came out dead. By 1966, then 70, when you have the war that you had 1967, 70, somebody was in charge. Yakubu Gowon. What did he do? He balkanized Nigeria, those regions that you say, okay, these regions, they were 3, they became 4, so that people can be independent and run at their own pace. No. How will they allow it? They brought a young man that was just reckless in his thoughts, Yakubu Gowon. He balkanized the whole thing into 12 states. Now the states are 36. They kept increasing. This one will come, share. This one will come, share. This one will come, share. The so-called Federal Republic became unitary government. Inverted federation. They'll still be calling it Federal Republic of Nigeria. But it's no more Federal Republic of Nigeria because it's being governed by unitary constitution, one constitution. If it's a federation, the components that make up the federation will have their own constitution. But it's not a federation anymore. By 1976, Olusegun Obasanjo arrogantly introduced by himself and imposed US-style presidential constitution. They are not asking people, they are not doing anything, and it wasn't even ratified. That means the people do not approve it. He just put it there because he could do it. You just do anything because you can do it. You want to copy US, but you copied incompletely. Because if you wanted to copy US, you see that all the states are independent to some extent. The assets in different states work for them. If you want to copy, want to copy well. No, copycats. You will not copy well. You can't copy the nonsense one. By 90, we are jumping, we're just giving you some breaks. There's so many other things that happen, but just because of time. By 1999, they brought this edition, the one that we have now. This 1999 Unitary Constitution. It's still by Obasanjo again. Doing things without discussing with ethnic peoples. They'll just wake up, do whatever they want to do, and put it on you. Like you saw Tinubu, you want to remove subsidy. Nobody is discussing with anybody. They'll just scratch their head, wake up, anything they feel like, bam, they throw it inside there. By 2000, the 12 northern states, contiguous states, adopted Sharia law as their own way of living. In a secular state, or in a state that was supposed to be secular, Obasanjo was still in charge. See somebody that is saying that the leaders are empty brain. Do you have brain inside your head? And these things are happening, yes, and you are there looking where? 2006, 2008, they carried Bakassi Peninsula and dashed Cameroon people recklessly, without even asking the people, without anything. By 2009, Boko Haram jihadists launched their campaign. The same 2009, Niger Delta people are doing their own. They gave them amnesty. That's when you saw some of them coming with their over-bloated stomach. It's from amnesty. If you want federal government to give you money, you start doing freedom fighting. When you make enough money, they will call you and give you your own piece of the cake. You become big. Then you take all the money, go to a foreign country, build university, build school, marry 50 women, have 100 children. Then you become your own president and have all the poor children around you. And when you're like this, you're talking to them. You want to go to war with a big stomach. Like, you can't even get oxygen inside the system. I have seen trouble. There's nothing we've not seen inside Nigeria. Reckless people everywhere. And people are allowing that to sponsoring it, because everybody must have their own private security. APC will have the people that are sponsoring. They will be sponsoring militants. PDP will be sponsoring, if it's the IPOB they want to sponsor, they sponsor. Labour Party will get their own. That's sponsoring, because it's about sharing money. It's not about helping anybody. By 2014, Boko Haram kidnapped 200 Chibok girls. Yes, 2014. Somebody will say, wow. Is that for already? Yes. I think it's over 10 years now. They kidnapped Chibok girls. Till today, the girl is still, one of the girls is still there. Panampasi has even gone to sing song. That's what they will do. They will sing song. They will sing hallelujah. They will pray, do night vigil. The girl will be where she is. That's what parents, adults will do. You will not say, this thing I did not work. What else can we do to save and deliver this girl? No. We'll release song for you. You'll carry placard, Obiokwesi. After shouting, bring back the girls, that's the end. They will call her at the international level and give her a job. I say, thank you, madam. You shouted very well when the girls were, he said, yes, when the girls were kidnapped, and we saw you barb your hair and you carry paper and you were shouting. Thank you very much for shouting. Come and take a job. Come and take employment at the international level for shouting when they
come and take a pacifier and shut the hell up.
Yes. And we are looking. Sit down the look. By 2015, good luck surrendered to Buhari, because they were about to kill everybody. Good luck said, okay, thank you, I surrender. 2023, Tinubu hijacked power. You see how we have been going from bad to worse. My people say from bad to bad, mbadamba. From bad to worse to worse to worse. To terrible to horrible. Interregnum presidents. Everything is happening at the same time. All the criminals are out from their hiding places. Criminals have taken over. If it's not Boko Haram, it's militant. If it's not militant, it's the other one. And we say we are building a country. How can that be? How can that be? How can that be? And we call ourselves educated. How can that be? Meanwhile, there are opportunities and new possibilities. All this going on, happening, these challenges and everything, if we can apply our minds, if we can apply wisdom, if we can sit down and actually think, do you know we can have opportunities from what has happened? We can get new possibilities and give our people a better place. That's what we say. Ninas is saying, and we are joining Ninas to say, we must renegotiate Nigeria to serve the purpose of the indigenous peoples. Indigenous peoples have interest. There is no way this country, the way it's constituted, is serving them. So we need to renegotiate it. All the people agitating for this, for that, your only problem, stop agitating for NSAS, agitating for police SARS, agitating for what, this, that. The all you need is we need to renegotiate the whole thing. Then you decide what we want to do. That's what you should be asking for. 1999 Constitution is the thing that needs to go down. We need to fix the structure, not leadership. You have seen yourself now. We warned you. Don't go for election. Going for election will not change the structure. You only remove one criminal and put another criminal. It's survival of the fittest. They know themselves. And all of them are partners. So APC, PDP, Labour, all of them. All those parties.
Yeah, they will come out and tell them that Nigeria is, the constitution is a problem. Before you know it, the same person that said the constitution will join P2B to be a spokesperson.
Exactly.
It's what they long enough. They hear you and give you your own cause.
Wike is in PDP. He went with his governors, autumn, after they were singing and carrying a bakara and they dancing like spirits. The next thing, he went to APC. Then the next thing, Tinubu is meeting him. Like, they're just crazy like that. Bunch of lunatics. But you, the people, are the ones enabling them. See what is happening in Niger. You see how the people are moving. You must stop enabling these criminals. They are very small. They're small in percentage. You are more in number. Your only problem is just like you're not applying your mind. You're not listening. You're not listening to information that will help you to make a decision. You're listening to Ndakoko, Negu Mike Ejaga. Some of them will be social media. When they give them small money, APC will just call them, give them small money. The PDP will call and give them money. They'll start. They'll become professor all of a sudden. Professor without degree. You say we are still suffering from the professors that had degree, that they went and got degree, but they don't have brain. Now we have professors without degree, not talk of brain. But on social media, they want to teach our people. We can have new possibilities from this situation that we have found ourselves. You see, where we are, Nigeria is supposed to be a multinational state. Like the America is run. With over 350 ethnic nations. This is diversity here. We are supposed to use the diversity to help ourselves. We are not supposed to make everybody to become one. Oh, Yoruba, Igbo, we convert everybody to become Hausa. No. If you're Yoruba, be the best Yoruba you can be. If you're Hausa, be the best Hausa you can be. If you're Ijo, be the best Ijo you can be. We become like multinationals. Then decide how we want to live together. Bringing our identity, our abilities together. Each person will do their own. Imagine over 500 distinct languages, distinct culture, tradition, Imagine if we have built this place. I will travel to Ijoland to go and see their culture. Here, people are always traveling to so place doing this. The Igbo people will travel to Yoruba people and see their culture. It will be organic. Nobody is killing anybody. Nobody is jealous of anybody. Nobody is envious of anybody. Nobody is shouting like a frog. Killing the Igbo, killing the Igbo. No. Just be in your corner. Be the best you can be. Imagine if we change the structure upon which we are building. Imagine the beauty that would have come out. Imagine how would have harnessed our potentials. Imagine if these ethnic giants, ethnic nations were allowed the freedom to explore their potentials, become the best they can be. In Middle Belt, they have how many nations there? Each with different abilities. Some are hunters, some are farmers, some they do so many. Each of them have something that they do well. Each ethnic nation, they are very peculiar in their own ways. In their dressing, when you see thief dressing, traditional dressing, imagine if they were allowed to explore their potentials. We can now organically grow.
Sad.
Even if we want to intermarry, we will intermarry without trouble. We're not going to be fighting over border. We're not going to be fighting who is president, who is this. We will not fight because each person is self-determined. Each nation is in charge of her resources, and then giving the nation the central whatever percentage. But you saw what we told you, Niger Delta. They are giving them 3%, and the criminals are taking 97%. Why wouldn't there be poverty in the land? Why wouldn't there be criminality in the land? Imagine, stand 1 minute and just imagine. Imagine if this
And the 3% is not even given to the people, it's given to the so-called leaders of the people.
exactly
That we know what they do with the 3%.
exactly. But why are they taking it in the first step that 97% we go? That's why all the politicians are marrying many women. You have enough money, you're gonna ababu. Why the people are picking crumbs? Tomorrow you say that they're stealing or they're doing this. What do you expect them to do? You left these people vulnerable. Have you imagined if these ethnic nationalities were allowed to develop at their own pace? No competition. Yoruba will be moving at their pace. Igbo will be moving at their pace. Hausa will move. Everybody will be moving at their own pace. People will have freedom of worship. Worship whoever you want to worship. You want to worship rat, cockroach. Worship, but stay in your corner. Don't kill another person for the person not worshiping what you're worshiping. Stay in your room and worship whatever you want to worship. Keep it personal. We don't want to know. It's your personal business. Imagine if we were organized like that. Imagine how it would have been. Imagine if good policies were thought out properly and implemented very well and in a good way. With like people that have brain in their head. Not coconut, not people that are carrying coconut brain and walking up and down. Good policies, they will just mess it up. Like, are you all right? Because that's what they do in their homes. Imagine if policies were continuous and consistent. Imagine. Not that one will come and try your luck. Try this one. The other one will come and try the other one. The other one will try the other one. The other one will try the other one. Imagine if all these decayed infrastructures were fixed. Imagine. Imagine if we had all the seaports open. Not that we are squeezing in Lagos because some brain dead people are managing us. Imagine if we had all the international airports. You know the number of international airports they have in America here? You're serving 200 million people and you squeeze them through few airports. Imagine if we had all these airports. Imagine if we had railways interconnecting us from here to here.
Tisegwe, It's okay, you're frozen.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah, you were frozen. You froze for a few minutes, so it was just
Okay.
going in here.
Am I okay now?
Oh,
Am I out?
I think,
The PowerPoint is out though.
uh, yes, I was trying to click on something. You click
Okay.
on the PowerPoint.
My brother, my
Let me
sister, my
back
people,
on.
we are taking you through memory. Like, just help us to. I remember in medical school in those days when they are teaching our anatomy, because Africa now we don't have all the things. They will make you imagine things. The rib is so place, and then it has a groove under, and then this is where we are there looking, following. Yes, so please imagine if we had seaports open, all the seaports open. Imagine we had refineries, all the refineries. Imagine if they were working. Imagine if we had good road network. Imagine if we had pipe-borne water. Imagine if we had healthcare, if we had hospitals built. Imagine. We have the resources to get all this done. We do, yes, we do. But what are the managers of Nigeria doing? The so-called Nigerian leaders. They have not only squandered the past and the present, they are now borrowing 40 years into the future. Your so-called leaders. Please, the next slide. Yeah, because they have to run 812 government units, 812 bureaucracies. Sorry, we made mistake the last time, so we are correcting it. 812, because the local government alone is 774 local governments. Why did they do that? Because the allocation of resources, they wanted to use local government to do that. So Kano alone, that has nothing to bring to the table, has 44. Bayelsa, that has resources to bring, has only 12. So robbing Peter to pay Paul. Why would somebody, I was listening to one of these untrained professors, professor without degree. He said it's only in South, in Southeast that they have criminals. Why wouldn't you have them when they are deprived? People that are sitting in resources that God bless them with resources that they're supposed to build on, but somebody sat somewhere and deprived them, schemed everything to keep them in abject poverty. Don't you know that poverty breeds crime? 774 local governments. In some local government in the north, you won't see any human being there. You just see forest. You travel 1 hour, you're still driving. After 1 hour, you see one cow pass. You travel another 1 hour, you see one goat pass. But they are local governments. Meanwhile, our people are jam-packed like sardines. Like people that they are putting inside that they are slave, this thing that they when they were during a slave trade. 36 states, useless states, because it was balkanized. They were not divided according to the people. They were divided so that people will be political minorities. It was intentionally done. Then you put the federal government, then you put the federal capital territory, making it 812 of business entities that have to be taken care of. So every month, they have to pay themselves. Imagine if we had fewer bureaucratic units, like when we started. We had only four regions, and then the federal government, making it 5. That's all. But now they have distributed different basket hole where they will use to siphon money. What do you think will remain? Nothing will remain now. Everything is gone to them and their wives and their children. Local government matter ought to be the business of the federating units, the regions, not the federal government. That all these things they did because they want to do wuru wuru. They want to do this is the seat of corruption. Because when you open all the many holes where money can be flying out, kara kara kata, everybody's stealing from here, from here. They give their brother. This one will be governor, give the sister local government chairman, give the brother the other one affair, ministry of this. they will share for themselves. That's why we in the situation. But we're saying we can develop, we can have new opportunities. We can turn things around. There's new possibility. It's possible for us to have new way of doing things and turn around this whole thing to work for us, and everybody will be okay. We look at Nina's roadmap, because I told you that the solution on the table is Nina's template for self-determination. We are no more looking for solution. The solution is on the table. We're only coming here to teach you so that you embrace it and be alive. Nina's template for self-determination is like the bronze snake they told us about in the Bible. When snake was biting the people, Moses was told to mold the snake and put it up. It's like the essence of it is like dealing with your challenges. Don't run away from your challenges. That thing that is biting you, that thing that is dealing with you, don't run away from it. Face it. Face your challenge. Face that thing that is biting you. Face it, and you have the mind to solve the problem. Next steps to union reconstruction. You see, down, start from down, lockdown. We told you, don't go for election, that what we need is logjam. Yes, we told you to do the logjam. You didn't understand us. So the logjam did itself. The criminals logjam themselves. All we want is logjam. Whether we did it or they did it, logjam is what we want. We told you that we won't be outcome from that result because we are following the steps and seeing the things going on. We know there's no way they will have a good outcome from it. So that's where we are now. There's logjam. My people say na agoba nwelisi.
Okay, Sisekwi, I don't know if it's my internet. You're going in and out.
Wow.
Sisekwi,
Is it okay now? Yeah, I can
you're
hear you.
frozen.
I can see myself frozen here. It might be the thing.
Sisekwi,
Yes.
I think she's having internet connection. Sisekwi, can you hear me? Sisekwi, Joyce. Okay. Yeah, it looks like. Are you back? What happened to your audio?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear? Okay. I was
Yeah,
checking on.
you keep freezing. I don't know, audience, if you guys can help us.
Okay, please. Can you put here? Is it still freezing? Can someone help us, please? Is it coming through? I can repeat the last slide. I mean, did anybody say anything?
Let me use my
Um,
hotspot.
please, can you hear us? Am I freezing? Um, hello. I should go ahead, right? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Is that Mona?
Sorry.
Hello. Please, somebody in the audience, can you tell me if you can hear me? Please, uh, can you hear me? I can see my brother Ogadimma. Ogadimma. Yes, we greet you too. Thank you. Please, can you hear us? Oh, Mr. Mona is now frozen. We're about to finish. We're almost done. This internet. Uh-oh. Now the internet has taken her out completely. Please be patient. We'll soon finish. We're almost, I think this is the last slide. Let me see if I can hear myself. So if I can hear myself, I'll continue. Let me see if I can hear myself. Okay. So if I can hear myself, I'll continue. All right. Okay. Okay, yes. So we finished up this. So logjam, and then after logjam, transition, because we told you that after the logjam, we are not supposed to go for the election. Now they're going in the court talking about rerun, this and that. No, what we need is transition. During this, the Ninas already has the template for the transition, the things that need to be done, how to constitute the transition members, and the time frame, the modalities, all those are already there. And then we renegotiate the union. Renegotiate the union. Of course, reconfiguration. From renegotiation, you have reconfiguration, and then you have reconstruction. Because when we tell people that we need a new constitution, sometimes they think it's just to write the paper. Constitution means the constituent, the arrangement, how the people are structured, how the nation. We told you that Nigeria is made up of multinationals, ethnic nationalities that were there before the colonial masters came. But they took away their powers from them, took away their sovereignties, took away their resources. So we're going to revisit all that. We're supposed to go back and fix it so that the people will have their sovereignties. That is self-determination. So when they have their sovereignties, they will decide who they want to form the union with. And we have said you form union according to core values, your core values. If somebody likes to eat people's head, you don't like to eat people's head, you don't have any business forming a union with such people. You go your own way, so that the other person that wants to do their own will do their own. Those that want to live by Sharia, they will go and live by Sharia. We are not living by Sharia because we believe that all men are born equal. And we believe that life is sacrosanct. We don't believe that if something happens that, oh, you should go and cut off somebody's leg. Or no. We believe in constitutionalism and democracy, rule of law, in that order. That's what we believe in. So please hold on. Let me see if Sister Mona is around. She's back. Hey, welcome.
The spirit of this forest still out here is playing with my internet. Okay.
Yes, so it's you that will take the 5-point agenda. So just I finished the last slide.
Oh, you were still going. So it was just me that was kicked
Yeah,
out.
it was you.
Okay.
Yes, I came out. I checked and I heard that I was coming out. I said, okay, let me finish up.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So devil did not win. Anyway, so back to our
No,
5-point
I didn't.
agenda. Of course, we
Yes.
cannot end our show without reminding you guys, giving you this point so you can speak like an intelligent man or woman that you are. We can no longer afford to talk like Motopark and the beer parlor people, okay? So if not for anything, take a picture of this agenda uh, so that you can use it to inform yourself. So we are looking for an acknowledgement of the grave constitutional grievances raised in the union dispute, as we declared a few years ago. And we are also looking for an express commitment to decommission the imposed 1999 unitary constitution, an express commitment to shelve further national elections under the constitution because we know it will take us nowhere. And then the fourth one is an invitation to the constituent peoples of Nigeria to work out the modalities for transitioning arrangements, including mandate timeframe, membership, and ancillary matters. And last but not least, the announcement of a time-bound two-stage transitioning process, which shall in the first stage feature multi-regional referendums by which the constituent components shall recommit to or opt out of the union, and in the second part, distilled terms of union as may be dictated by the outcome of the referendums. So please, if not for anything, in your group, in your organizations, in your church meetings, in your hangout place, begin to put this into the minds of our people so that we can build a nation, build a country that we all can be proud of, that we all can thrive according to our own strengths. And even those with no strength will have a place as well, because we have to carry them along as brothers and sisters. So let's get these things down. Stop playing games. Stop the criminal mindedness that we all have inherited from being in the environment called Nigeria. Because I know a lot of you guys are criminal minded because you're okay with somebody driving 50 cars, you're okay with somebody wife inflating her butt, you're okay with all kinds of stuff. As long as it's the national cake money that is coming from. But what you fail to recognize is that when you are not building the hospital and you have an accident in that your 50 car convoy, you have no place to go. So let's do the right thing and end this madness once and for all. So our announcements are here. Our sister is always on Spotify and Clubhouse on a weekly basis to educate our people. I love what she does because it doesn't take that long. So in 5 minutes, you would have learned, better than it was doing before. So, and then on Tuesday, we want for you to go to Twitter, begin to tell them that what Ninas is saying is right. So using hashtag, those hashtags that we've listed here, we stand with Nina's transition now because, as always, we insist on transition and not selection or rerun. So thank you. To learn more about what we are doing, visit ninasvoice.org and the Doctors of Truth Voice.org. We want to shout out to Umar that doing the work. Mothers, we thank you. We will win this war. We are here for our children. People cannot appreciate what we go through to give birth to our children. So we are always willing to do the extra. Some people may feel defeated. They may feel they don't have any choice. But because these children depend on us to live their life, we will persevere. So until next week, have a good one. Thank you for joining us. Please help us to
Bye.
share. I know a lot of viewers didn't come when they're supposed to come because we did it a little early. So continue to help us to share and get this message across. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.